In this video, we will demonstrate how to incorporate some of WeatherSTEM Scholar's unique features into the classroom. Before you continue, it is recommended to watch the videos that provide an overview of the WeatherSTEM Scholar program and the one that highlights using the WeatherSTEM data mining tool. All of the educational resources developed by WeatherSTEM are aligned to the next generation Sunshine State Standards for Science, which were adopted by the Florida State Board of Education in February 2008. For the purpose of this video, we will explore concepts of the next generation science standards for elementary, middle, and high school, and educational resources currently available via WeatherSTEM Scholar. Let's take a look at the third grade elementary standards for weather and climate. Represent data in tables and graphical displays to describe typical weather conditions expected during a particular season. Obtain and combine information to describe climates in different regions of the world. Make a claim about the merit of a design solution that reduces the impacts of a weather-related hazard. Climate describes a range of an area's typical weather conditions and the extent to which those conditions vary over years. One resource to examine different climates in the United States is the WeatherSTEM State Climate Series. Lessons in this series provide an overview of the geography and geographical influences that help define and drive the climate and weather of each state. In these lessons, narratives describe extreme weather events observed in the state, including information on winter weather, flooding, and droughts. Through the WeatherSTEM Learn tab, keyword and standard searches can be used to determine which educational resources contain content on these topics. One of the lessons that fits into this standard is What is Primetime Weather? This lesson can be used as a slideshow in a classroom setting and provides some basic information on patterns in weather. The lesson also includes integrated data from a nearby WeatherSTEM station, making the lesson more relevant to students. Scientists record patterns and data across different times and areas so they can make predictions about what kind of weather might happen next. Have your students act like scientists by having them analyze temperature or precipitation data from WeatherSTEM stations and present their analysis in either tables or graphs. Students can compare the data across different locations and different times of years to see if they can identify patterns. Either provide monthly data from different stations in the WeatherSTEM network or have your students retrieve the information themselves by using the data mining tool. This activity could be done in conjunction with math lessons on learning how to graph and plot data via spreadsheet software or by hand. The WeatherSTEM Cloud Journal Lesson Plan is another educational resource that could be used with this standard. In middle school, the next generation science standards focus on these overarching topics. Collect data to provide evidence for how the motions and complex interactions of air masses result in changes in weather conditions. Develop and use a model to describe how unequal heating and rotation of the Earth causes patterns of atmospheric and oceanic circulations that determine regional climates. Ask questions to clarify evidence of the factors that have caused the rise in global temperatures over the past century. For the purpose of this example, we are going to explore the first topic, which discusses the interaction of air masses. Air masses flow from regions of high pressure to low pressure, causing weather at a fixed location to change over time. Using the keyword search, we can identify the educational resources that contain content related to atmospheric pressure. Various lessons appear on the screen, including one on barometers, the instrument used to measure pressure. The lesson on barometers contains information on pressure, how it's measured, and key points about high and low pressure systems. This lesson also contains slides integrated with pressure, temperature, humidity, and precipitation data from a local WeatherSTEM station. The standard also addresses how sudden changes in weather can result when different air masses collide. All air masses have both horizontal and vertical properties, and a front is the transition zone between two air masses of different densities. As a front moves through an area, it can bring changes in temperature, dew point, winds, and pressure, and fronts can also cause precipitation. WeatherSTEM has two resources that specifically focus on fronts. The lesson on fronts discusses the properties of air, provides some basic information on how to read weather maps, and describes the four different types of fronts. Students can further explore these different fronts through an interactive resource. By selecting a front, students can click on a definition and then drag the air mass to see a cross-section of what happens in the atmosphere. Using the data mining tool, have students display data over a 7 to 10 day period from one of the WeatherSTEM stations across the United States and see if they can identify any potential frontal passages. Additionally, the WeatherSTEM lesson plan on the water cycle and the lesson on cloud classifications can be used to review topics before starting concepts within the standard. Under the high school Earth and Space standards, the weather and climate expectations are: use a model to describe how variations in the flow of energy into and out of Earth's systems result in changes in climate. Analyze geoscience data and the results from global climate models to make an evidence-based forecast of the current rate of global and regional climate change and associated future impacts to Earth systems. The foundation for Earth's global climate system is the electromagnetic radiation from the Sun. This includes its reflection, absorption, storage, and redistribution among the atmosphere, ocean, and land systems, and the energy's radiation back into space. The WeatherSTEM meteorology course covers the fundamentals of meteorology and emphasizes the physical and chemical processes that control and drive Earth's weather and climate. This concept is discussed in one of the lessons in Module 8, Weather over Time. The third lesson, Natural Climate Variability, provides an overview and discusses changes in global climate on different timescales due to large volcanic eruptions, ocean circulations, solar output, and changes to Earth's orbit and its orientation of its axis. Beyond this module, the course covers additional topics including severe weather, energy balance, weather in agriculture, and changes in climate.